Picture the scene, it's 1977, the height of the summer, and of course in the beautiful city that is Glasgow, in the very heart of Scotland. I don't know if you've ever been to Scotland, but Glasgow is a wonderful place, rich in history, beautiful art galleries and museums, and of course a lot of interesting darker tales, including, some might suggest, a few ghosts. A few ghost walks there, very interesting indeed, as is of course the beautiful city of Edinburgh further up. It's a wonderful area of our wonderful United Kingdom. But way back in 1977, something rather special happened for this international icon that is known simply around the world as Dolly. Let me explain. Morning, good to see you. Thank you so much as ever for your time today. You all right? I'm all right, thank you very much. I wanted to share this story because this was reiterated to me not only by Dolly Parton herself. As many people know, I recently interviewed one of her family, Jada Starr, who's also making a move into the world of music, doing very well, I might point out. But of course, it's Dolly Parton that everybody loves and knows, isn't it? You know, an iconic look even today that people still go, oh yes, we love Dolly. And really, let's be honest, we all love a bit of Dolly Parton, don't we? I don't know about you, she first came into my sort of ether way back when she had Jolene. And then I kind of loved, of course, the Gibb Brothers composition that Kenny Rogers and Dolly sang, Islands in the Stream. You'll have that in your head all day now, won't you? Once you get those songs by the Bee Gees in your head, you can't shake them off, can you? But you see, Dolly Parton has been a huge monarchist for many, many years. And recently she put out an invitation to Kensington Palace if, of course, the three children of the Prince and Princess of Wales, that is William and Catherine, if their children, if they ever want to come over for a break, a very private break, hidden away from everywhere, that is Prince Louis, Princess Charlotte, and of course Prince George, to Dollywood. And I thought that was a wonderful thing. Now, of course, people are trying to say, well, she hasn't offered the same thing to Meghan and Harry's children. Well, you know, whatever. But the bottom line is that Dolly actually, in fact, her sort of connection to the British monarchy goes back, well, a very long way, as I say, to the summer of 1977. You see, in 1977, there were two sort of royal variety shows. This is the annual event where major stars get to perform in front of British, monarchy. And of course, with it being the Queen's Silver Jubilee year, all, well, stops were pulled out. Up in Glasgow, there was a very special concert at the Pavilion Theatre, a beautiful venue that is still thriving today. And Dolly Parton wasn't the headliner, but one of the big cheeses literally in the bill. Alongside her was none other than the brilliant Starsky and Hutch star, David Soul, and another lady that I was very lucky enough to meet for a short period, the beautiful and now late Lena Zavaroni. Wonderful star, brilliant voice, gone too soon. David Soul told me when I interviewed him how nervous he was at meeting Her Majesty the Queen and the Duke of Edinburgh, but apparently they were big Starsky and Hutch fans. So, you have to take it, he said it, and apparently she knew all about the mechanics and workings of that hit show. But apparently, according to Dolly, when she got to her, Dolly sort of said, she was really nervous and didn't know what she should do and all of this sort of stuff. They managed to calm her down. And apparently the Queen said to her, well, congratulations on the success of your recent single, Jolene. It's a wonderful song. And apparently this just left Dolly absolutely stunned, and all of that sort of stuff. She said, oh, right, she didn't think that the Queen would know who Dolly Parton or indeed any of her music was. As I said, it's hard to forget Dolly once you've either been in her presence or met her, of course. Now, what I like about this story even further is that they all received a letter of thank you and gratitude from the Royal Palace for taking the time out to be in the show. So Dolly took it upon herself and a team to send over a couple of albums and a note. And they received a note back saying how much the Queen enjoyed Dolly Parton's new album, citing a couple of tracks to boot. And as Dolly pointed out to me, she could never have imagined that the Queen would have actually sat down, put the arm on a record and listened to the music that she'd recorded herself. But as she said, really, the association of simply just being able to perform in the presence of the monarch on the stage at the Glasgow Pavilion on a Silver Jubilee year, which was a spectacular event, as she said she was so nervous because, you know, this was a big thing, her very first big time in London, in the country, doing so much good business. She said that opened doors for her in America that nothing else could have done. Not appearing on things like Johnny Carson, anything. She said the fact that I'd sung in front of our late and brilliant monarch, she said, well, you know, that was it. My career took off around the world. And as she pointed out, if, of course, Catherine and William wanted to send their children, it was a thank you back for all the help and assistance that a simple meeting by performing up in Glasgow in 1977 had done for her career. What a lovely woman Dolly Parton is, don't you think? And of course, don't forget, she donates many children's books to many credible organisations around the world, along with many other charitable things that she simply does for free. We could all do with a bit more Dolly in our lives, right? Neil Sean in the very heart of Kensington.